Welcome to Edithville, our turn-of-the-century miners' cottage in Bendigo, Victoria. Join myself, Dan, and my partner, Brandon, as we transform our little house into a home. Come along with us as we document the changes and experience the journey in our beautiful home. I'm going to be making up a little mix of self-raising flour, bicarbonate of soda and cocoa powder, because earlier I showed you our little footprints of our rat when we were doing the installation, and he hasn't gone anywhere even though I have sealed everywhere that I can possibly think of. This is an organic and safe way of being able to lay out a bait, because apparently rats can't digest this mix. They're attracted to it because of the cocoa, but then they can't digest it because of the carbon dioxide gases that are created. And essentially it kills the rat. So I'm going to use a tablespoon measurement. So it's equal portions of each one, and we shall see, got Sprocket in the background waiting for food, what happens with Mr. Rattus. Now I'm going for self-raising only because it expands as well, so I'm hoping that that helps. Hopefully you can see that this is the little mix, and I'm going to mix that up really well. It wakes us up every single night, so it's time for it to go. Let's see if this works. Alright, so I've made up a mix of 3 of these. So these are the 3. That should be enough for Mr. Ratty to come along, and I'm going to go place them outside. Rather dark down here, but essentially the rat prints were down over here, so I'm going to place one near there, because maybe he's going up the chimney or something. Not 100% sure. But then I'm going to place one on the other side of the house as well, and I'll place another one somewhere else. You never know. You never know where these little bastards are coming from, so let's see if I can solve our issue of being woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning by it coming and going. So the last one I'm placing is next to our bedroom, because I'm thinking it lives in this area by the noise it makes of the night time. So I'm just going to come in underneath here. You can see that the trap has never worked really, and I'll place it right under there, and we shall see. We had a trap there for a very long time, and not really anything kind of came from it. And I had an electric trap there, and I used peanut butter. Clearly this rat knows a little bit more than most, and decided to avoid, or just didn't like the peanut butter that I left it. I've put 2 on the other side of the house because that's where I saw the tracks, so I'll let you know, and then it'll be a handy trick for you all. So welcome to the disaster area at the moment. We are changing things around. We're thinking that we're changing the lounge room area that we've got in the kitchen to being the kitchen table up the top. Down here we're going to move the table clearly up to be the kitchen table and make this into a nice winter sunspot. We've got a little bit more tidying up to do, but this is where the kitchen table is going to sit, which gives us plenty of room, plenty of thoroughfare. We'll just have to start using it to see how it works, I suppose. This is our winter lounge room. Cocktail corner will happen here, but we'll get maybe like a nice tray and cocktail shaker and stuff like that for there, so the plant will have to live somewhere else eventually. Most of the plants need all the sunlight, so we've planted out some new plants that we've got. Made a little terrarium of some other plants that we had. Yeah, we have a nice little seating area. Yeah, a nice sunny spot. Okay, so we are removing this little couch, which is going to be painted and renovated, because I bought a sewing table from Facebook Marketplace. So the sewing table is going to go in there because of this type of things happening, where I'm doing up costumes and different things. So yes, we're going to be moving the little sewing table into here and moving this out and redoing this whole room. So it's the end of the day and the battery went flat on the camera, so I thought I would show you what I've done in the office space. So I've made a little packing bench here, so I'm going to cut up some of this tomorrow, just make it a lot nicer and neater. Cleaned and tidied a little bit. I've got to work in this area a bit, but here is the sewing table all set up, ready to go. I've even put in here the spare machine, well, the sewing machine. This one here is the overlocker, so this is the machine, and then some fabrics and bits and pieces all go into these cupboards, and then all of these cute little drawers here slide really well. A collection of bits and pieces, more to come, little tassels and stuff in there. So that's all sorted, just kind of rearranged a little bit of everything around here so the costume can be here. Got an extra lamp. This is my grandfather's pipe box for his pipes, but I'm using it for bobbins because, you know, don't smoke a pipe. It's all organised, all in one nice, tidy little space. We did a little bit more on the van, which I'll show you tomorrow because it's been raining all day. Welcome to winter. In regards to the bed, we made that shorter because it was a bit too high last time, so we've shrunk that down. We've tidied up the carport, and once again I have to get back into the studio and tidy the studio because it's a disaster area at the moment with rearranging everything else. So watch this space for more. So I cut the bed down so that it now sits much lower in the van. It was, well, it's not a huge amount, but it was sitting up roughly around about here. So I've taken enough off that we can put containers underneath. It still has all its bracing, and at the moment what I'm doing is insulating with the rest of the insulation that I have, and the concept will be to actually get some thin plywood and go over all of this so that this is insulated up here as well, and likewise on this side. But at the moment I'm just removing panels, packing insulation in, or pack insulation into here as well. I have actually ordered a new window for this door, so this will actually go and a window will be put in here, which will be great because I'll actually have a little bit more visibility with the van. Probably look at doing the ceiling as well, so I'll pull the bed across, and the whole idea will be to carpet the entire inside of the van so it's all nice and quiet and insulated and ready for camping trips. That's the plan. We were going to get rid of the van, but I think now what we're going to do is keep the van, possibly buy a smaller car for Brandon to drive around with, and something that will actually allow us to have passengers as well, because at the moment that ain't possible.
Every little bit will help, surely.